Okay, thank you. Go to the top. Yes. All right, nice. So overall, it's pretty good. And all these feedback that I'm going to give is improvements. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
there was anything majorly wrong. So although there are many room for improvements that I'm going to say, just remember that overall it's still pretty good. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So at the start, you say like, okay, what is Deva? Um, it was about the breathing process. Yeah, so actually, here's another feedback that I didn't type in. It would be better to introduce why do they care about it? Like, why do they need to care about the bar? So I would say that, oh, you know, those questions where they ask, explain the process of inhalation, exhalation,
Mm-hmm.
explain the breathing process. Then if you use this memory shortcut, you will get the full answer already. Super easy. Yeah, so then they'll be like, oh, that's why we're learning this. Yeah, of course I want to listen. Then
Mm.
you said, okay, so this is my first point in the Word document. I think you said this is a memory shortcut that the company has developed. So that's you're basically meant to say that, oh, here at that bio tutor, we have this memory shortcut. Is that your meaning? Okay, okay. So just say here at TBT or here at that bio tutor, we have this memory shortcut called Deva.
Mm.
We want to like tuition is a very relational thing. And we want
Mm.
to seem relational, we want to seem like their friend. We want it to be um we don't want it to be so like formal and like, oh, there's this big corporation, big company. In fact, right, that bio tutor, I want to go against the big corporation vibes. Wait, have you worked at Learning Lab?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that is a big corporation vibe. And actually a lot of people like the good thing about having that vibe is it's established. Oh, so it should be legit, right? But then the bad thing is like, oh well, the quality is not that great. Because it's so commercialized. So I don't want to have that vibe at all. We want to
Mm.
do the opposite. And when I was first starting this company, I did network with a few tutors who were more advanced in the field. And one of them said that the relationship is the most important. Because I asked him, like, what do you think is the most important to succeed? Then he was like, the relationship with the student. Because he's had a few students who are F9 all the way. Like, they didn't even improve, but they stayed because of the relationship. So that's why I want to be relational. Okay, next. Thoracic cavity explanation. It was good because you showed the because you said, you know what's a thoracic? Thorax is the upper body, and then cavity is like a hole in the teeth, right? Cavity, dental cavity. Okay, so that was like um it would be more complete of explanation if you combine those two. So you say, see, that's why this term means a hole or an empty space within the thorax area, the upper body area.
Mm.
Okay, then next one, intercostal, you see? It should be costal, I believe. Let me search on Google, right? Intercostal muscle. Yeah, no A, there's an extra A. Do you see the spelling?
Yeah. I see now.
Okay. Next one, just now when you ask, what are the types? Or is it what are the kinds? Do you say two kinds or two types? Okay, yeah. So you're saying there are two kinds of intercostal muscles.
Mm.
And actually, when I heard that question, I was thinking, actually, are you asking for the kinds of muscles? Like there's skeletal muscles, cardiac muscle, which is the heart muscles, and smooth muscles.
Ah.
So I can see how a student will misinterpret the question.
Mm.
Yeah. But then, okay, good. I mean, eventually they got it. And it was a nice way of telling them that they were wrong. I can't remember how exactly do you say that they were wrong? Uh, what do you say?
I
When you
think
said
it's
skeletal?
like not quite something.
Something like that. Okay. Yeah, but it was a nice way. It didn't make them feel dumb. It
Mm.
was friendly. Yeah, it was friendly. Okay, then internal intercostal muscles, you said, when it contracts, it will push the ribs down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not say push, let's say pull. Because
Okay.
it's also scientifically more accurate. Muscles always pull on bones, not push.
Mm.
Okay, then you see the unregistered thing that's on your screen, right? I think it's because this app thing, the air screen mirroring is like, is it a free version? That's why it has that unregistered thing popping up.
Should be. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
eventually get that fixed.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
then if you okay, then here's the next thing. You said, oh, if you forget during the exam, just feel your body and you know whether the ribs are moving down and in. Yeah, that's good. Then later on you said, oh, try it out now, breathe in and out. So exhale, is it increase or decrease the volume? Okay, that's good. Because all these are interactive things. It's engaging with them. Especially the try it out now thing is like they get to do something. They get to do something interesting other than just writing that they've been doing the whole lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then let's see. Move to small classroom. Okay, so go down to the pressure explanation where you drew a small thing.
Mm-hmm.
Move down. Man, I can't see. It's still up at the Deva. Move down. on the iPad.
Hold on. Okay,
Okay,
can
yeah, it's actually back. Okay.
okay.
So you say that imagine moving into a smaller classroom,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll be more cramped, so the pressure is higher.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as bio-accurate to what's happening in the lungs. In the lungs itself shrinks, right? So we can say that imagine the classroom shrinks around you, and then now we're all squeezed together. So the pressure is higher. That's more accurate to bio. So it would improve the analogy.
Mm.
Yeah, so the closer the analogy can get to the bio concept, the better. Then the easier it is for them to understand.
Understand.
Okay, next one. The air pressure one, right? You actually just gave them the answer and you said it's the opposite. So I would have asked them to guess for the first one. Like, so y'all see that lung volume, thoracic volume goes down, right? Okay, can you guess the air pressure? Do you think it will go down or up? Guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like just make it like a carefree guess kind of thing. It's like it doesn't matter if you get wrong. I'm not asking for correct answer. I'm just asking like people's opinion here, just a guess.
Mm.
Okay, then those you drew circles, right, inside
Mm-hmm.
the box. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a very small thing, okay? It's your preference. I personally use dots. I just dot on the screen because they are so much faster. Circles is more effort, slower to write.
Mm.
Personal preference. Okay, then let's go to the opposite of relax. Oh yes, sorry. We're still on the first part. At the top, right? So for diaphragm, inhale, the student said, relax downwards. So it was a good way of getting them to try again because you said it's the opposite. So what's the opposite of relax? Okay, let's contract. Okay, then another thing is this is consistent throughout the whole thing. It's not just this page. Good that you're always positive and smiling and friendly. Yeah,
Mm.
they like it. They like it. And my very first tuition, other tuition business owner that I learned from is the tuition that I went to when I was in JC. So like after I started my this tuition center, then I asked him for tips. Then one of the things he said is like be smiley, yeah, be friendly. And I know
Mm.
he is. Yeah, so that's good. It's good. And it also like makes them feel it's easy to ask you questions and they won't be judged.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then also good time management. It wasn't too slow. Yeah, I think for all of them, it wasn't too slow. So that's good time management. Because it's a common trap that tutors fall into. Like they want to explain everything very, very nice, but then it wastes too much time. So you have a good balance of explaining enough, but not wasting time, not going
Mm.
too slow. Okay, let's go down to MCQ. So before the MCQ start, I think didn't give time, right? You just started straight away with explaining how what's the answer.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So give them time, do the question, and then ask them, okay, send your answer in the chat.
Okay.
Then also it was a good explanation of why when you breathe in, it's like more people coming into the room, so it gets more crowded. And that's why pressure will go up. So you see, the the green part where you wrote why pressure increased back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was when you explain. Imagine more people coming into a room, so it gets more crowded. So
Mm.
then you scroll up, right? You scroll back up to show the diagram. It'll be even better if when you scroll back up. So you try on your iPad, you go up, and then you show the diagram. Okay, then now do a short drawing to show a room that is emptier first with fewer circles, and then more circles come in. So now the room is more crowded.
Then like more crowded.
Yeah, I actually you could. Okay, let's reduce the dots again. Undo. Okay, yeah, stay here. Okay, so this is when you haven't when the air haven't rushed in yet. Okay, then you
Mm-hmm.
draw dots on the outside.
On the outside.
Yeah, outside box. Yeah. Okay, then you show these dots, you draw arrow inside.
Ah, okay. They go in.
Okay, then you increase the dots inside. Yeah. And then see now it's more crowded, so pressure is
Mm-hmm.
higher.
Mm.
Okay, so you erase again, then you explain this part. Okay, so you go down to the why pressure increases. Yeah, okay. Why does pressure increase back to normal? Air rushes in. Okay, so yeah, from here.
Okay, so looking at this part of the diagram, so the pressure initially goes down, but why does it, gradually go back up? So why does your pressure gradually increase back to normal? So why this is you can imagine it to be similar to the analogy I talked about just now. So initially, when you first inhale, you can imagine there to be a bit of air in your lungs. And then there's a lot of air outside, and then they'll see there's a difference in pressure. The inside is very empty. And then they'll decide to, all rush in. And then there'll be more of your air, and then that's how your pressure increases.
Okay. I would highlight the part of the room feels more crowded now. So it's more
Mm,
pressure, higher pressure.
mm,
Because they can relate to it better.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they are in a crowded place, they can feel being squeezed, right? Squeezy, and they feel like, oh, they have so much pressure on me. So
Mm.
that helps them to intuitively get it. Oh, of course, that makes sense. If more air comes in, that's why there'll be more pressure. Just like
Mm.
when a room gets more crowded with people, it feels more squeezy. So I want to really highlight that link because I see that, oh, that is the bridge, right, between the bio concept and their what they already know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you see, I learned this from there's this very famous self-help guru and author called Tony Robbins. Ever heard of him?
Nope.
Okay, so
Mm.
one of his seminar recordings, I listened, and it was about teaching, how to teach. And I learned, I think, the most important thing about teaching from that recording. So he said teaching is linking knowns to unknowns,
Mm.
linking knowns to unknowns. So a student, right, has known things that they already know, like they
Mm.
understand how it's like being in a room which is squeezy, but they don't understand how air pressure works. So that's the unknown. Okay, the known is their own experience of being squeezy in a room, but unknown is the air pressure concept you are trying to teach.
Mm.
So teaching is about linking unknowns, which is what you're going to say, to their knowns.
Mm.
Okay, so that's why that is the bridge between them acquiring this new concept. Like once it links, then they will acquire it and it becomes one of their known concepts. So the bridge, right, is when it's very crowded and squeezy in my life experience, I feel it's very high pressure. And then the concept is when air molecules are very squeezy and cramped in a small space, there is high pressure.
Mm.
So that bridge, right, is why it needs to particularly be highlighted. Yeah, because if you say all the known stuff and all the unknown stuff, but the bridge is weak, right?
Mm.
Then it might not link and it might not get it. Yeah, it's like one of those like really loose ropes, like in all those
Mm.
movies where the bridge in between the mountains breaks or something.
Yes.
So I like to strengthen it. Okay, yes, good. Let's move on to back to MCQ again. And then yeah, good showing them how the answer came to option A, and you were quite brief on B, C, and D. So uh, I could see how you might have gone through each B, C, and D very slowly, um, to be thorough. But since you already taught all the stuff above, it was good that you were just brief to say how it works.
Mm.
Okay, let's go down to the open-ended question. Yeah, okay, this one you gave time, good. Then the students would guess all the different chemicals. And you said, well, actually the answer is carbon monoxide. And later I'll show you why it is the best chemical to use for discussion. Yeah, so that's good because I'm sure that they also want to know why it's the best one because there are these different chemicals. Okay,
Mm.
then also good guiding them to hemoglobin. Like you ask them, where in the blood? Okay, red blood cells. Okay, what's inside red blood cells? Hemoglobin. Yeah. And then this thing applies for the whole thing, not just this page. Good use of English so far, good speaking, not using all those. I mean, you can tell when someone is a good speaker at English, using Singlish too much. I mean, some is fine to be informal and to be funny, but then if it's too much or it's due to a lack of skill, right? If it's intended, then it's fine. But if it's lack of skill and lack of eloquence, then that's not great. So why is it important, right, to be good at English? One reason is simply we, when someone comes to you and they're like just speaking in Singlish and you just feel like they are anyhow kind of person, very casual. So it's like, okay, this person is a great fun, but not necessarily very professional or competent. But then when you see this like guy in a suit, very professional, comb hair, then speak in a, I don't know, like a Ang Mo accent, or maybe it's an Ang Mo guy, and then knows English, you just feel like, oh, very competent, very professional. So we want to give the right association that we are professional, that we
Mm.
put effort into this.
Mm.
And then English, being good at English also benefits you a lot because the irreversibility thing, if you understand the word, then you can explain to them. It means that it's not reversible. It can't unbind after it binds.
Mm.
Okay, then cells have to multiply, not grow. That's good because that's actually a misconception students might have that, oh, the cells just grow bigger, that's how they get bigger. But not
Mm.
true. Just have more cells. Then it will be even better if you do them by mitosis, but actually you did say this at the end, so ignore this. Okay, good. After you were done, you said any questions. Oh yeah, that's good also to keep asking at the end of each appropriate place, any questions. Yeah, that's good. Before moving on. So they asked you, oh, what about nicotine? Why can't we say it constricts the blood vessels at the placenta? Because that is a real thing. It does do that. But it's out of syllabus. So that's number one. And it could kill the fetus completely also if it was too severe. But if it's not that severe, it might not kill the fetus completely. So it is a possible answer. Yeah, it is. As long as they still answer the right way. But how I would tweak the answers, I would say that not just oxygen is less. Uh, instead of saying that, the blood cannot transport oxygen as well anymore, reducing the ability, right? That is your second bullet point on the screen. Instead of saying that, I would say that less oxygen and nutrients are delivered to the fetus. So the oxygen one stays the same, right? Aerobic respiration. And then the nutrients is used for, I would say, also aerobic respiration, but also growth, because nutrients are needed to
Mm.
just build cells, build cell parts. We can use a keyword there. Can you guess what keyword I will use? How do we say that the nutrients are used to build cell parts? That's a keyword. It's a long word. Comes from digestion, that topic. That's A.
Assimilation.
All right. So actually, that explanation is possible.
Mm.
It's an alternative explanation. Another common answer that people ask me is, can we say the nicotine and carbon monoxide cause coronary heart disease or heart attack? But yes, you're right, it's the mother, not the fetus. The chance that a fetus will get heart attack is extremely low because they're so young. Mother, yeah, maybe. But then it just means the mother's heart suffers, right? But
Mm.
the fetus getting enough blood is not necessarily the case.
Mm.
Yeah, and also if they say that what if this term, right, of fatty deposits accumulating in the artery to make it narrower, do you know what's that term called? It starts with A also, and it's also a long word.
It was in your video.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, if you don't know the term, right, then in a lesson, just describe it. So just say, oh,
Mm.
the phenomenon where fatty deposits accumulate on
Mhm.
on the inner walls and that narrows the lumen of the artery.
Mm.
Yeah, it's called atherosclerosis.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the term. So even if arteriosclerosis happens in the coronary arteries, it's okay. It's not affecting the fetus blood supply. Now, what if they ask, oh, what if it happens in the placenta? Then it reduces blood supply to fetus. Then I would say it's very low chance that will happen there because fetus after all is only 9 months. It's not like years and years of the placenta being there. So
Mm.
it doesn't get a chance to build up the fatty deposits to such an extent. Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, you gave a fast explanation for the student who asked, what if the mother gets a coronary heart disease, right? They said, but it's the mother, not the fetus. So that's a very fast answer. Like it was straight to the crux of it. It was concise. It was like imagine you're balancing a lot of things on just one little pole on the bottom. And if you hit that pole, everything else crumbles, right? So this argument that they were presenting, the one little pole was that you knocked down immediately was, hey, it's not even the fetus, it's the mother. So you went for that straight away. Like that should be the way we answer questions. Because if we knock down all the other less important poles, right, except for the bottom one, then it'll be a very long explanation. And you're confusing the student more. Yeah. So conciseness is super important also. And plus, it'll drag your lesson on, right? If you didn't explain so fast.
Mhm.
Yes. So it was good that it's concise. Okay, in summary, I I want to give you uh two things to like remember. Okay.
Mhm.
So number one is continue asking many small questions along the way, which you did.
Mhm.
You asked many, many small questions. And it's very hard to get distracted in your class if you do this. Very, very hard. So I was like forced to constantly stay on track because of your small questions. Because if not, I'll be like, oh wait, what's the question? What's she asking? Then, oh okay, then I get back on track, you see. Okay,
Mhm.
next is continue always showing them how to go to the answer. Like logically, how does it flow to the answer? Like MCQ, the option A, I felt you did that because you first you did the graph and then you showed them that okay, this part that X is talking about is exhale. And during exhale, what is the external intercostal doing? Relaxing. That's why it's the answer.
Mm.
So it was like you funnel them down this slide towards the answer smoothly. Yeah, so continue showing them that logic. Because that's what they lack teaching in school. They don't know why the question, like why should they answer the question this way? They don't know why.
Mm.
So this is question interpretation, right? And the more we show them this logic of this is why it leads us to the answer, then the better their thought process becomes. And that's the skill that they need. That's why they are not giving the right answer.